So now it's officially mailbag,
As opposed to earlier, which was unofficially.
unofficial mailbag. Yeah, you know how
No,
it goes.
no,
So,
I don't. You would think
oh,
after all this time, but
okay.
no,
So
I
here, I'm just
still
warning
clueless.
everybody. Um, Ronnie Tucker and Brush and Roller, your stuff is coming up later on. Oh, Lord. But first, this message from Tony.
We're a weird freaking people.
How could you tell?
We're here.
Uh,
Well, first of all, happy 4th of July to all of our United States people, and happy Treason Day for those of you in Britain.
yes, there we go.
I was looking, now, okay, I was not looking for this.
Mm-hmm.
I found photos of Madrid's high heel race.
Does that go along with the running of the bulls thing?
Well, you know how when you watch even like superhero movies, spy movies, the chick always does the running and the fighting and the kicking in heels. Now, in Wonder Woman, at least it was a platformy kind of thing.
Yeah, but
And
still,
she's
it
tall to
seems
begin with. I didn't quite
insane.
understand that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's the old, yeah, Ginger Rogers could do everything Fred Astaire could do backwards and on heels.
She was the better dancer.
No, I don't think so. They were both very good, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out on the floor near them because that would just be embarrassing and not very respectful.
Mm.
So I'm looking at pictures and then I realize it's Pride Week. So they're all guys
Oh.
or guys dressed as girls
Okay.
running in high heels.
Uncle Milty.
Some of them have taped them up. It looks like they've had to like tape around around the heel of the shoe and under the archway. Because let's be honest, I'm guessing heels were never made to be running in.
You've never heard any woman say anywhere, I need a pair of running heels.
I have more shoes than my wife does, so my house might be a little backwards,
It is.
and I don't have many. She has her hiking boots,
Mm-hmm.
her wet shoes. I almost said wet work shoes, and that would be wrong.
Yeah,
Wow, that guy's legs are hairier than my entire body. He might be hairier than your entire body. I got to get these pictures out of my eyes.
Mm.
You know,
That's
once you
how
see
it
something,
is.
you can't unsee it.
So,
Anyway, where was I?
well, you were someplace.
Oh, that was it. It was I was expecting, babes in high heels to go running, like
Yeah,
from
no.
Burn Notice sort of stuff.
Yep.
No, no such luck.
It's like the drag race Monty Python put on.
No, that was funny.
It was hilarious because it was filmed and it was Eric Idle and my great and good friend John Cleese.
It was not as good as the two-man pole bearing championships.
They take off running, the drag race,
Yeah.
and they get about, I don't know, 7 or 8 steps.
Get it, drag race.
Yeah, they were dressed
See
as
what you
women
did
in
there.
high heels
Yeah.
the whole bit. They get 7 or 8 steps and then they stop and look at each other and go, you hear anyone laughing? No. You want a beer? Yeah.
Well, sometimes they work.
Shankill Graveyard.
Huh?
Shankill Graveyard.
Well, I thought you said shankle, and I was trying to figure out what do shins and ankles have to do with.
It's in Lurgan, Ireland.
Of course it is. Everything's in Ireland.
This story was sent to me.
By the way, if you're ever hitting reels and find Irish Gem, watch a couple. They're kind of fun.
Oh, okay. Via Heather Reed.
Miss Heather.
Our woman in Leatherpool? Good Lord.
I think that's rude that you're bringing up maybe your personal life there, but okay.
Our woman in Liverpool, she sent it to our man in Liverpool, Patrick, whom she appears to know,
We're sorry about that. We truly are.
and he sent it to me.
But if you've hung around long enough for him to send him something, it's on you, really.
So
Vladdy.
there's a couple of versions of this story that go out. It's legendary. It's from the 17th century.
Well, we were alive then, so go ahead.
So back in the 1700s,
Ask my kids.
Marjorie McCall is the first grave one of the graves you're going to come upon, forgive me, and it reads, lived once, buried twice, from the 1700s.
Live once,
Yep.
bury twice.
And actually, it was in 1695 that Marjorie
Oh, well, that's before us.
caught a fever And believing her to be dead, the family held awake and promptly buried her.
Was that the song? I get the fever. That's what it was based on?
I'm sure it is.
Of course.
Soon after she was laid to rest, grave robbers who regularly ransacked newly buried coffins dug her up.
That, by the way, is not a growth industry.
No. Dug her up and attempted to steal a valuable ring she was still wearing because her husband couldn't get it off. Couldn't pull it off. Well, they were unable to remove the ring from her finger, and so they decided, well, it's obvious what we should do.
Steal the entire body.
So they cut the finger off.
That's probably a better plan.
Which is when she awoke.
Hang on. That was children in storytelling. This is what you call the plot twist.
And apparently the grave robbers
died right there.
Skedaddled.
Oh, I would have had a stroke and died right there, but luckily the hole was available. So
Marjorie climbed out of her grave, dusted herself off, and like any reasonable woman,
climb yourself out, dust yourself off, get out of that grave,
and went home.
Well, what else do you do? She minus a finger?
Well, and this is where the story gets a little wonky, and it's in every version I've read.
This is where?
Yeah.
I apologize. You guys are pretty normal compared to what's his face here.
Hearing his wife's
not you. You're a
she
freaking vegetable.
She knocks on the door, and I don't get that. Why wouldn't she just walk in?
Her hand hurt.
Yeah, maybe. But
cut a finger off, dude.
She's got two hands.
Yeah, one hand is holding the other hand, which is bleeding profusely, and she'd like not to die again.
Upon hearing the knock, Mr. McCall said to his children, "If I hadn't buried your mother, I would swear that was her knock."
Wow, the things we've lost in the passage of time.
And, right?
Memorizing phone numbers.
Yeah.
Knowing someone's voice on the phone. Now they have to tell us.
Well, actually, I recognize footsteps around the house.
Yes.
So
if you're really, and you don't even have to be observant, because we're not.
Because hubby comes to the door, and this is where you get two different versions.
Okay.
He opens the door.
Where it gets strange.
Yes. And according to the BBC, he fainted. According to another story, he died.
Let's go with the other story.
Okay.
Because I don't trust the BBC for squat anymore.
Well, here's the problem.
I don't care.
Marjorie lived on and even had another child after her ordeal.
Well,
before being buried once more in what proved to be her final resting place.
Well, otherwise you kind of wear it out.
Yeah, exactly. You don't.
So my guess is he didn't die.
Yeah, well, they do say his hair. In other versions, they say he fainted and his hair turned white.
Well, mine did too, but that was Eric.
And we know what happened to me.
Yeah, I'd like to blame that on Ian, but
no, it's not. It's not Drew either.
No, it's Ann.
Yeah, she sat on my head and farted.
Thank you for that.
It's a true story, by the way. She
remember
exactly do that.
Remember when there used to be road strips all over? You don't have that now because they figure your car will tell you, like, if there's something ahead of you.
Oh, the rumble strips.
The little rumble strips, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The humble rumble strip.
Okay.
In the United Arab Emirates, there are rumble strips that can play Beethoven.
Oh, those things. I love when they do rumble strips like that. That's a hoot.
How? Hang on. How does one do that?
It depends on how close or far apart they are. It changes the tone, changes the pitch, actually.
Well, first you mentioned my name, and now you've mentioned something about soccer fields. So what?
Rugby
anyway,
fields, please.
It can play Beethoven on a mountain highway in the far reaches of the United Arab Emirates, which is fun because there's probably no TV out there. You can't get cell service. For nearly a kilometer along E84, also known as the Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Road, because why wouldn't it be?
Yes.
Motorists in the right-hand lane coming into the city of Fujairah.
Okay.
Fujairah, sure.
Yeah.
Can play Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, where the rubber meets the road, if you will.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Street of Music, of course, is an art project. It exists elsewhere.
Yep.
But we wanted this, said Ali Obeid Al-Hafadi, We wanted this project to be in our country.
Okay.
I'm wondering why they picked Beethoven.
Yeah,
It's a nice choice.
I'm sure they have a lot of, what do I want to say, local artists that are famous.
And there's a lot of other Beethoven you could have picked. You never, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, the Pastoral, what is that? I can't remember which symphony it is. This is my favorite by Beethoven.
By the way, for drivers coming into the city, the rumble strip initially looks like a large rectangular version of the dash lines that are separating the 3-lane highway.
Okay.
Until you hit that first block and the grooves of the road combined with the speed of the vehicle to make oh so beautiful music. However, they do suggest if you hit a wrong note, do not back up and drag in.
That
really makes sense.
Yeah. I want you to think way back now. Way back to the story.
I can get all the way back to something about Beethoven.
About Erin Patterson. She's an Australian woman. She invited her ex-in-laws and ex-husband over for a dinner.
Okay.
And somehow some mushrooms that should never have been in anybody's food ended up in
the
there.
Australian lady who they think killed her in-laws.
Yeah. Yeah.
And her sister-in-law.
Yeah.
And her husband's ticked.
And, well, she invited him, but he couldn't make it.
And she's pleading stupidity or something.
She was convicted.
Uh-oh. It's a kangaroo court.
Well, of course it's a kangaroo court.
Judge Hoppy presiding.
And it was bring your kid to work day, so little Joey was next to him. Prosecutors.
Actually, Joey was right there in the pocket.
Ooh, cute. So mom was there. Prosecutors didn't specify a motive during the 9-week trial, but suggested familial tensions. Evidence included Patterson's search history.
There's vagity at its vagatiest.
Right. And specific mushroom residue found in a food dehydrator she initially denied owning. See, lady, you sealed your fate right there. She insisted that the offings were an accident. Just a horrible accident after I dried the mushrooms and put them in their food. I didn't expect anything to happen.
How was I supposed to know they'd croak?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, croak. Could that work as opposed to unalive, which sounds so stupid?
We could say croak. Well, I don't like unalive. I like the sandwich hitting the floor better.
That's a good one.
You know.
Yep.
Anyway, let's see what's...
Or squish. I just rewatched Firefly, so...
Squish.
Bullet in the brain pan. Squish.
Squish. Potential life sentence.
In Australia?
Mm-hmm.
Are they like the UK where their life sentence is like about 30 years and that's where they figured to start your parole is whatever of that?
No idea. I don't know Australia.
Have any Aussie friends? Do we have any Aussie friends? Do we have any friends?
I've met a few from Australia and South Africa.
Okay, now we move on
to rugby.
And we all know that Australia and South Africa are a lot alike.
Except they're in two different places, Tony.
But except for that.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. He's the... Oh, I just have a headline that I have to ask.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
For our friends in the United Kingdom. Bloody. Right. Mom, I have a question for you. The headline... Why do I do that?
Because you're a dink.
I cannot help myself. Luckily, it's a spot-on accent.
Yeah, I was fooled.
Well,
I thought you'd left.
Not exactly a high bar, but okay. The headline reads, UK doctors beg people to stop bringing in unsolicited urine samples. I believe I'm speaking for both of us when I say, what the hell?
Really?
So is that true? And for those of you any connected to the medical profession anywhere else, United States, Australia, their sister city, South Africa.
Well, are they bringing in their own?
Shut up.
I know they're bringing in, I don't know if they're bringing in their own or somebody else's.
But they're unsolicited urine samples.
Hey, look, someone whittled in a jar.
One headline from the Times, would that be the... Is the London Times now referred to as just the Times? My, that's not pretentious at all. Um,
The share of newspapers.
the Sultan surgery in Fraserburgh, Aberdeenshire.
Have you what?
I'm kidding you not. If you take Aberdeen and put shite next to it, you get Aberdeenshire, and that's what they've done.
I think that's a
Anyway,
typo. That's a typo.
In the story, one of the phrases that caught my ear was tsunami of pee. So I would like to know, does that happen anywhere else but the UK? And if it's happening in the UK, what the hell is wrong with you?
I suppose you could expect to hear shite near pee.
And you can't blame this on Keir, okay? Well, you could.
Well, you could. Why not?
He's probably got his grubby little mitts there. I'm sorry.
Off to the missives.
We have missives?
One from Ronnie Tucker.
Mr. Tucker.
Now, you remember the last one, he took us to task.
I've been taken a lot of places.
And it was because...
Next time I'm taken to task, though, I want like dinner or something.
Our show notes were...
Kittywampus.
Inaccurate in terms of time. The
Kittywampus. Inaccurate sounds way too,
Okay. I shall keep this
like
telegram...
we did it on purpose, which I met us.
Actually, show notes part 2. Revenge of the Numpties. I do love that.
I have to ask.
Yes.
Whoa. Someone's been down here messing with my whatchamaduck. Are we the Numpties?
Yes, we are the Numpties.
Oh,
maybe. I don't know. Maybe the AI is the Numpties.
Well,
I think we're probably at least included in the group if it's
don't be bad talking AI, because when they become, the rulers.
I shall keep this telegram brief.
Hail Greta the AI.
While I recognize the quote from Mark Twain, see, he's using our own countrymen against us. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience.
This is true. If you don't if you don't believe it, just read Facebook.
I'm going to give it a go with some sound reasoning. Oh, good Lord.
Wake me up when this is over.
The time codes on the show notes let the listener jump to that story. Duh.
Yes.
Yeah. Come to think about it, now that I've been listening to the show for so long, I recognize the foolishness of my endeavor and wish to recant everything.
Solancha.
And why a telegram? Well, I remember the 3 fastest forms of communication: telephone, telegram, telewoman. And proof that he's one of us, direct all complaints to TITR@netradio.network.
Please. We are waiting for a good snark.
Yet another missive. And some of you...
Another missive?
Yes.
Who's this from?
This is from Vineet.
Argowalt.
Hi there. I hope you're doing well. My name is Vineet. I'm the founder of Million Podcasts. I'm excited to share that your podcast, This Is True Really News, has been recognized as one of the top 100 satire podcasts on the web by our panel at millionpodcasts.com. Hang on. We made it into 3 categories.
All right. With satire.
This is the most comprehensive ranking of satire podcasts online. We're honored to feature yours among the best.
Did you enter us?
No. This just came out of the blue. They even gave us
better.
a badge to put up. So I put the badge up at the intros now. Yeah. We have also featured your podcast in our top 50 fake news podcasts.
Well.
And our top 60 weird news podcasts lists.
There's really not a difference between. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we'd be thankful if you could help us spread the word by briefly mentioning these lists on your website or blog.
Oh, we can't do that.
We've also created a badge for you to share with your audience. You can display it on your website or post it on social media to showcase this amazing milestone.
Thank you.
Millionpodcasts.com.
I would like to thank all the little people. The Munchkins, the Lilliputians. I'm sure I'm leaving someone out.
Oh, okay. Now here's where it actually gets really painful.
All right.
On to the comments.
Sorry.
Apropos of This Is True Really News, episode 975. Prime Minister offers to drop pants to prove Christianity et al.
He was getting a little snippy there, but sure.
Sure. What happened to your microphone? I can't hear you barely. Barely can't.
What?
Did you move your microphone?
No. Hello?
Now I can hear you better. How about moving the microphone closer to you? That's not closer. Remember we worked on this push-pull thing the other day when we were stuck at that door?
Fine.
Anyway.
Hang on. Is this better? Test and check.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot better. That's a lot better.
Great. I feel better now. I don't like having you that close to me.
From DeBone.
Where's the flesh?
Oh, Nas. We forgot the whole better turn on our mics thing, I guess. Or is this the special lip readers only episode?
Yes.
To which one of us replied, holy crap, look for take two shortly.
We did?
Yeah. Take two was rendered and checked, the beginning there were voices. And I looked, actually, there was some glitch when
there were actually voices with us always.
We rendered it that rendered it silent. So yeah, it went up silent. I don't know why.
Did we put it in black and white too? That would have been kind of, put piano behind it. That would have been kind of cool.
By Mel Brooks.
This was our very first silent effort back in 1922.
So take two went up.
Copy that.
Apropos of take two, Prime Minister offers to drop pants to prove Christianity. From DeBone. Oh, no. LOL, you guys got lots of confession to do. It's still a tad on the quiet side. Now, to be fair,
we are quiet.
I did check it.
Okay.
I listened to the intro. When I went back,
I see the problem.
After the intro, it got silent again. To which one of us replied, what in the blue F?
By the way, if you're wondering about one of us.
Yeah, DeBone had told us the intro is great, it's just the rest has no audio. So
it was an experiment.
What in the blue F? He says, sorry, didn't mean to seem picky.
See, the trouble is once you watch it without sound.
Yeah.
And then you watch it with sound.
You're kind of over it, right?
You know what? I'll just hit mute from now on. That'll be okay.
So it's take three. You'll want take three. It says take three right at the right.
Oh, golly, we're good.
Oh, Lord.
Just remember, we are trained professionals.
Do not. We've been
not attempt this at home.
I've been doing this for what, 50 some years?
Oh. Well,
not this well, mind you.
This takes time and effort I got nothing.
Moving on.